world. BEFM Busan 영어방송.
Hello everyone, I'm James from India. Ever since I was a young boy in India, I have been surrounded by different Korean products, and this instilled a dream in me to explore Korea one day. This chance came for me in 2014 when I began attending Busan National University as a graduate student in computer engineering. I have lived in Korea for over 7 years, and I even run my own business now, a company that is developing a platform based on artificial intelligence and blockchain technology. From my experience, I can say with an absolutely certainty that Busan was the best place for me to start my business, thanks to the specialized blockchain zone. In the past 7 years, Busan has become my second home, and I obviously love it here. Global City Busan, we are in it together. This campaign was brought to you by BFM Busan 영어방송.
It's summertime, and with that comes the heat wave. Here's how to prepare for the unwelcome but unavoidable heat. First, tune into your TV or radio and listen for the latest weather forecasts. Try to stay indoors. Refrain from extreme activities, particularly the elderly or those with pre-existing health conditions. If you must go outside, walk slowly, find shade, wear light-colored, loose clothing. To avoid sunburn, protect your skin with sunscreen, wide-brimmed hats, or sun parasols. For those working outside, take frequent breaks and drink water, even if you don't feel thirsty. If you're inside, block UV rays and keep the temperature between 26 and 28 degrees Celsius. Get to know the signs of heat stroke. If you see anyone showing heat stroke symptoms, immediately call 119 or 1339, the Emergency Medical Information Center. We can't beat the summer sun, but let's do all we can to stay healthy this summer. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM, Busan 영어방송.
The time is now 2 o'clock.
Welcome to BFM News at 2. I'm David Kim. South Korea's first homegrown military spy satellite, launched in December, has passed a combat suitability evaluation, enhancing the country's space reconnaissance capabilities against North Korean threats. The satellite, which was launched from California, underwent operational and flight tests and was approved by the Defense Ministry. This electro-optical and infrared satellite can capture detailed images of the Earth's surface, even at night, and will be a crucial part of South Korea's kill chain preemptive strike system. South Korea plans to launch 5 more spy satellites by 2025 to establish a comprehensive military surveillance network. The number of COVID-19 cases among children in South Korea has significantly increased this month amid a summer surge, according to hospital data. At 42 pediatric hospitals, the number of child patients with COVID-19 rose to 1,080 from August 5th to the 9th, up from 387 in late July. In Chungcheong province's cases spiked from 54 to 301 during the same period. Most pediatric patients have mild or no symptoms, which may contribute to easier virus transmission. High-risk children, such as those with heart disease or diabetes, are advised to seek additional testing and treatment if they test positive. In local news, Busan City will hold a 79th Liberation Day celebration at the Citizens Hall Grand Theater tomorrow. Prior to the event, Mayor Park Kyung-jun and about 30 others will pay tribute at the Memorial Tablet Hall of the Independence Memorial Hall. The ceremony will be attended by approximately 1,200 people, including the heads of veterans organizations, descendants of independence activists, and citizens. The event will include a national ceremony, screening of a commemorative video, a speech by the head of the Busan branch of the Independence Hall, a performance by the Busan City Art Troupe, among others. Busan has been ranked 67th in the top 100 cities in the world for living, working, and traveling, as announced by the global consulting firm Resonance, the city reported today. The rankings are featured in Resonance's 2024 World's Best Cities report, which was also covered by the prominent U.S. magazine Forbes. The report highlighted Busan for its harmonious blend of rich natural resources and modern urban infrastructure. It described Busan as the Miami of Korea, emphasizing its appeal as a popular destination for both domestic and international travelers seeking relaxation. The report also noted that international events and cultural activities significantly enhance the city's attractiveness. In response to recent electric vehicle fire incidents, Busan City has announced new measures to enhance fire safety, including the expansion of firefighting equipment and the distribution of fire prevention charging stations. The city will hold a safety review meeting on electric vehicles led by Mayor Park Kyung-jun at the Busan Fire and Disaster Headquarters on the afternoon of today. This meeting follows a recent electric vehicle fire in the underground parking lot of an apartment in Incheon on August the 1st. In international news, Mpox, a highly infectious disease formerly known as monkeypox, has been declared a public health emergency in Africa by the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention due to the rapid spread of a new strain. Over 13,700 cases and 450 deaths have been reported in the Democratic Republic of Congo this year, with the virus spreading to other African countries, including Burundi, Kenya, and Rwanda. The emergency declaration aims to enhance coordinated response and increase medical aid. And now taking a look at the weather here. With the heatwave advisory in effect citywide, the mercury is averaging 33 degrees Celsius in Busan City. And that'll have to do it for this hour's news. Thank you for joining us. You're listening to BEFM Busan 영어방송.
Your best choice. BEFM Busan 영어방송.
Coming up next is 2 p.m. Reboot with Casey McKeever. BEFM Busan 영어방송.
This is when someone spends unpaid time doing something to benefit others. Helping your close friends or relatives isn't technically this, but doing something to benefit the environment, and through that other people, is. This can be formal and organized by organizations, or informal within communities. It should always be a free choice made by the person giving up their time. Do you know what this is? Today we are going to cover this, which is volunteering. It's Wednesday, August the 14th, 2024. My name's Nick. This is 2 p.m. Reboot. Let's get it started. I absolutely love that song. That was I'm Gonna Be 500 Miles by the Proclaimers. Now, you might have heard this song. If you've heard it for the first time and you're not from the UK, it might be a little bit, that's an interesting accent. Well, the Proclaimers, the band, are Scottish and they're twins, Craig and Charlie Reid. Now, this is their only hit in America, but 4 of their other songs made it to the UK Top 40, including their first hit, Letter from America, which went to number 3 in 1987. Now, the song is about being devoted to a woman and wanting to spend the rest of your life with her. And like I said, it's all sung in their original Scottish accent. The lyrics are great too. It's very simple, but I would walk 500 miles just to see you, just to be with you. This was a hit in the US after being featured in the movie Benny and June, after the director heard the song being played on his personal stereo by Marianne Watterson. The Proclaimers had no idea it would be featured in the film, and I find myself listening to this song on occasion. And if you want to know, a fact about me, my great-grandmother was Scottish. So when I was very young, I used to hear, a lot of the Scottish accent anyway. So it's quite familiar to me. Difficult to understand sometimes, especially if it's very thick, but beautiful country, beautiful people, and a beautiful accent, I think. Welcome everyone to a 2 p.m. Reboot. You're live in the studio on this Wednesday. It's Hump Day. And Miokstella Inim is coming straight in saying, Happy Hump Day. Happy Hump Day to you as well, my friend. Hopefully you're having a good day. Hope the weather in Seoul is a bit milder. The sunlight is very strong. It's not as humid today, at least what I'm feeling. But the light, the sunlight is very intense. 햇빛이 정말 강한 것 같아요. Well, you're listening to us on BEFM 90.5 in Busan and 103.3 FM in the Gijang, Cheongwan and Noksan areas. I'm your host, Nick, and you can also catch us in Seoul at TBS EFM 101.3 FM or GGN Gwangju 98.7 FM. The show is also being streamed on YouTube, so just head on over to the internet, youtube.com, then search BEFM or 부산영어방송. Unfortunately, due to copyright issues, YouTube users cannot listen to the music, so the music sounds will be muted while the songs are playing. I know, it's not a very good situation. However, if you do want to listen to the music, and I recommend that you do, you can just turn on the radio, or you can download the smartphone app as well. Not the best choices, but it'll have to do for now. I'm going to tell you what's coming up on today's show. In hour 1, we have Hot Off the Press. We can check out the newest, hottest tracks from the world of music. And then all around Busan will follow that. Jimmy will be in the studio, taking the time to introduce the various dongs or districts in Busan. And Busan has 16 of them. So there's a lot to see. In hour 2, Daily List will follow that. There is a list for everything, and we're going to find them all. Daily List covers all the lists, from the best of to the worst of. And today's topic is ways to volunteer in your community. I know it's a noble topic today. We're going to be talking about volunteering. After that, Inside Korea will follow, where I, Nick, let you know some important updates on the country in which we are living. And the stories include a 75-year-old pharmacist looks after 5,000 island residents, and the heatwave is likely to persist until August the 22nd. Don't go anywhere because lots of great segments are coming your way. And if you're looking for an excuse to message in, you want to message and say hi, but you don't really know what to say, I'm going to give you a reason to message in with today's text topic. Now, 오늘의 텍스트 토픽입니다. What is your most memorable volunteer work? What's your most memorable volunteer work? 가장 기억에 남는 자원봉사는 무엇인가요? 오늘의 텍스트 토픽 question입니다. Let me know if you've done any really cool, really honest, really, proudful, volunteer work. I know you don't do it for the good feelings and for the rewards, but let me know. I want to know what great volunteer work you all do. You can send your answers into pound 9050 샵 9050, which will cost you 101. You can also search for KakaoTalk, search for BEFM. Search for BEFM on KakaoTalk or 부산영어방송 in Korean. Add us, send us messages for free. You can also download the smartphone app. Just again, search for the same thing, BEFM or 부산영어방송. I do want to remind you before moving on that currently a heatwave warning is in effect in most parts of the country. Avoid outdoor activities as much as possible. When going out, wear light clothing, a wide-brimmed hat, and carry a water bottle. At construction sites, strictly adhere to heat safety rules such as water, shade, rest, and actively implement the Heatwave break time system during the hottest hours. Thoroughly prepare for the heat waves, such as drinking enough water and having a short break. And if you have symptoms such as dizziness, nausea, or headaches, use a cool place to rest. We're going to kick off the show. I see you as well, Chae Sung Nim, saying hello. Welcome, my friend. Hope you're having a cool, pleasant day. Keep the messages coming in. I'm going to be reading them. Coming up next is Hot Off the Press. Before that, this is Perfect Me by Blossoms. We just listened to Perfect Me by Blossoms, welcoming you back to 2 p.m. Reboot. It is 2:18 in the afternoon on a wonderful sunny hump day, at least here in Busan. It is now time for Hot Off the Press. So from Monday to Friday, we bring the two newest, hottest tracks from the world of music. As you know, lots of songs are released every single week, so we're going to choose the best ones and deliver them to you in a nice little short segment. The first song that we're going to be covering is Chill's Feel My Love by Oliver Heldens, David Guetta and Fastboy. Now, with their new single, David Guetta and Oliver Heldens prove that sometimes simplicity in lyrics can amplify the complexity of their emotion. The chart-topping producers have joined forces for Chill's Feel My Love, a soaring dance anthem that's both familiar and refreshingly innovative. David Guetta's signature production layers shimmering synths that spiral skyward, while Heldens injects his own playful touch with a bouncing bass line. I used to love David Guetta a lot when I was in my university days, especially when you go to music festivals. If David Guetta's there, everyone just headed to the David Guetta stage for some, drum and bass, EDM, dance, that kind of vibe. Always great music, so I look forward to this. Our next song also has another couple of great artists, one of my old favorites as well. It's great that all of these artists that were active 10, 20 years ago are still going strong today. And this song is called Hot Honey by Tiesto and Alana Springsteen. Now, I'm a huge Tiesto fan, so this is going to be great. Alana Springsteen and Tiesto, they're kind of heating up the summer with their brand new single. The rising country star and the Grammy award-winning DJ, that is Tiesto, they teamed up together to release the music video to their first official collaboration, Hot Honey. Now, Hot Honey melds Tiesto's signature electronic sounds and his ability to experiment in an expansive variety of genres. And then you've got the soulful country tone and the top-tier singing-songwriting of Alana Springsteen as a fast-rising want-to-watch star in country music. I'm going to love this meld. Well, I don't know if I'm going to love it, but I'm very curious to see this meld of Tiesto and Alana Springsteen. So here are two songs for Hot Off the Press. First, we're going to listen to Chill's Feel My Love by Oliver Heldens, David Guetta, and Fast Boy, followed by Hot Honey by Tiesto and Alana Springsteen.
This fire in my lungs is burning slow.
Welcome back. We just listened to two songs from Hot Off the Press. We listened to Chills, Feel My Love by Oliver Heldens, David Guetta and Fast Boy, and Hot Honey by Tiesto and Alana Springsteen. You know, listening to these two songs, I know I say this often, but it took me back to my younger days when I used to go to, not clubs, but like underground music festivals, and there'd be a lot of like EDM, drum and bass. And you know what? Both these songs I thought were great. But personally, that first song, Chills, Feel My Love by David Guetta, that was good. That took me back. I could just imagine myself, you know, in the dance, I don't want to say in the club, but like in the dance hall with the, you know, the blue lights blaring everywhere, everyone dancing, having a good time. Anything with David Guetta, 역시, it's going to be a hit. But that's why I like this. And I'm going to add that to my personal playlist as well, I reckon. I'm going to remind you now of question of the day. 오늘의 텍스트 토픽입니다. What is your most memorable volunteer work? 가장 기억에 남는 자원봉사는 무엇인가요? 오늘의 텍스트 토픽 question입니다. I've got a few messages coming in. We have Miokstele Yinim saying, when I was in university, I volunteered to help students with special needs during outdoor activities. I learned a lot about patience and teamwork, and it was great to be part of their experience. That's awesome. Yeah, that's really awesome. And, you know, a lot of the times when you do volunteer work like this, you learn a lot of valuable skills that you can use in the future. So you said you learned patience and teamwork, and those are two incredible skills to have throughout your life. So I'm sure you'll remember that forever. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. We have Neil Nim as well saying 요즘 플로깅을 많이 해서 저도 광안리 바닷가를 뛰면서 쓰레기를 주웠는데 생각보다 많이 나오더라고요. 운동도 하고 청소도 하니 기분이 2배로 좋아지더라고요. 진짜 강추합니다. Yeah, plugging. Is it flogging or plogging? I think I'm not sure, but it originated in like Sweden. It's like, is it Swedish words? Yeah, Swedish words amalgamated. And it's a great thing, right? It's two birds with one stone, right? 일석이조, where you do some exercise and you pick up trash as well. It is sad that you did find a lot of trash. And you know, Gwangali Beach, it's now the biggest, I'd say the biggest spot in Busan these days. There's so many people. So inevitably, there's going to be a lot of like trash. So it's unfortunate, but thank you very much for volunteering your time for that as well. Chae Sung Nim says, not too long ago, I took care of the elderly, but right now I take some time off from that work, and I think it's hard, but it's worthwhile. Oh, for sure. Yeah. You know, I think it's not just in Korea, all around the world. There aren't many volunteers. You know, it's not exactly a come work here kind of job. It's not very enticing to help the elderly. But the fact that you did that is wonderful. Thank you very much for sharing. Everyone keeps sending what you did, what your most memorable volunteer work was. I'll tell you mine. I don't do as much as I should, but I think it was last year. A year and a half ago, I did a 연탄 배달 in, I think it was Munhyundong. But it was where there was, a bit more impoverished area, and so we delivered, coal for the winter. It was rewarding, and it was just a great experience, and it was really surprising and heartbreaking to see how many people just needed these basic things to get by through the winter. So yeah, send me yours. I do want to hear, get some inspiration, and just know that humanity is helping each other out. It's always a good feeling. You can send your answers to pound 9050, sharp 9050, which will cost you 101, or a Kakao Talk message. You can also search for BEFM 부산영어방송 on Kakao Talk. That way, you can send messages for free, or you can download the smartphone app, search for BEFM 부산영어방송 in any app store, and you can message us and have some fun, talk to us. Coming up next, we've got Jimmy in the house for All Around Busan. Don't go anywhere. It is now time for All Around Busan. Now, in this segment, Jimmy takes the time to introduce and host, I host, he kind of co-hosts, and we listen to the various places that we can go visit in Busan's 16 districts. What up, Jimmy?
Hey, what's good? Jimmy in the building.
How you doing, man?
Doing good, as always. Thanks for asking.
You're always looking really happy when you come into the studio. I want to ask you before we begin, what is your most memorable volunteer work? 살면서 아니면 뭐 언제든지 상관없고.
Just like what you said, I should do more often. But the last time that I remember was right before COVID. In Busan, I actually went to, I'm not quite sure, but either in Buku area, I went to this senior citizens community.
Yeah.
And I actually made kimchi.
Oh, you did Gijang.
For them. Yeah, Gijang.
Oh,
Not all by
awesome.
myself, with like all the other volunteers. We actually made kimchi from the scratch. So that time I realized how hard to like you have to put a lot of effort.
And your back is just dead by
I
the
know.
end of it.
And it was really, really satisfying because after done making kimchi, we actually served those foods to the the seniors.
어땠어요? 맛있었어요?
Yeah. 맛있었어요.
지미키오 김치.
I tried.
That's awesome. And I know Gijang is something that is done at a specific season.
Right.
Because I guess the conditions are better to help it ferment. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's a great way to do it. I've only made kimchi as like 체험할 때, 김장 체험, but not to help a larger community. So that must be really rewarding.
I think we should go do some volunteer work together sometime.
I mean, it would be interesting.
Right,
I'm down to try kimjang.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're here for All Around Busan. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, I'm taking you guys to Gijanggun Gijang-up today. We have 16 district, and this is probably the one and only gun here in Busan.
Okay.
It's usually gu, right? But Gijang is like the only place where it's Gijanggun and Gijang-up.
I only know the word gun when you talk about a boy. You know, like like young Master Nikolai.
Right.
You know, yeah. But it's used for districts as well.
Right.
Okay. And what is up? Is that like a town village kind of thing?
It's isn't it kind of like suburban area?
Suburban area.
Yeah.
I guess so. I see it around everywhere.
Right.
And I always see like 읍사무소.
맞아요.
You know, like
동사무소 is usually the neighborhood, but 읍 is kind of.
That's really cool. All right, yeah. So we're going to Gijanggun, Gijang-up.
Yeah, so Gijang is actually where you can feel this tradition and nature and also well-developed, everything all combined. You can actually feel the coexistence of the city because now, like back then, Gijang, as you can see, it's up. Gijang used to be like kind of suburban area, but then now, like when you think of Dongbusan, like everything is there from like amusement park.
It's hot stuff now.
Right.
All of the big furniture stores, the outlet malls, it's all in Gijang, right?
And outlets and, huge malls.
Like one of my favorite places. I have a few, top 5 in Busan.
Okay.
But one of the top ones is Daebyeonang. Which is in Gijang.
Daebyeon, port.
I know.
I love it.
Yeah, I go there because the food is good. They have a lot of 멸치.
멸치 쌈밥.
멸치 쌈밥, 멸치 비빔밥도 있었는데 요즘 없어졌어요.
Oh, really?
I couldn't find it. I had it once and I loved it, and now I can't find it again. So I'm very angry.
Yeah.
But if anyone knows where 멸치 bibimbap is, please tell me. But yeah, Gijang is just full of great places.
For sure. So yeah, it's a Gijang-up in Gijang County. So like it's actually just like what you said, a coastal town, and it's known for its beautiful scenery. And then I like Daebyeonang too, but I also like where you can eat the porridge. 무슨 죽이죠 그거?
미역죽?
No. 갑자기 생각이 안 나는데 노란 색깔이고 정말 맛있는데요.
애호박?
No. 갑자기 생각이 안 나요. 그 하여튼 죽인데.
Okay.
연화리, 전복죽.
전복죽.
Yeah.
Oh, is that orange?
It's not like orange, but it's kind of, yellowish.
Okay.
Yeah, 연화리 is also popular too. So where you would like to get some fresh air and then want to escape from like the downtown vibes, you can just go to Gijang-up area and then feel the vibe.
Lots of beaches.
Right.
It's like we said, it's famous for the anchovy and the seaweed festivals, right? One of the coolest things I saw there was I was just walking along the harbor and there were lots of men in a boat. They had a big net full of anchovies, full of 멸치.
Right.
And they were tossing it. 근데 노래 부르면서 막 던지고 있었거든요. Like, they're like, and it was so cool. It was like watching like a sea shanty, just in real life.
Right.
It was amazing.
It's probably like their tradition. It
Yeah.
has been going on for ages.
Okay, there's a picture on. If you're watching YouTube live right now, there's a picture of Jeonbokju, and it's more green.
Yeah, more green.
Yeah,
My
more green.
bad.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
for sure. So, what are the major tourist attractions in Gijang that we
Well,
should not miss?
As we all know, despite the religion, I'm sure, pretty much all citizens and also the visitors have visited Yeonggungsa Temple before.
Oh, for sure.
That's
yeah.
like the one and only temple here in Busan that's actually near the sea area.
Well, I find that temples, of course, it's mainly, related to Buddhism, but I find that it kind of crosses the religious boundaries, that people from all religions can just appreciate the architecture, the history, and the culture without,
Right.
necessarily worshipping like Buddhists would. Yeah.
And like this temple, originally built in 1376, offers a unique blend of spirituality and a breathtaking coastal view. So, yeah, just like what you said, not just for like religious reasons. You could just go to pray and just get some fresh air.
So I went there about 2 years ago to film a TV show.
Oh.
Right? And I was talking to the head monk, the head sunim there.
맞아.
Really cool guy. He took us up for tea to the top balcony where people aren't allowed.
Oh.
And we were drinking this tea, looking at the ocean in Yeonggungsa. And do you know what he was a legend. Do you know what he was talking about?
What was it?
What would you think? If you talk to a monk, what kind of topic do you think you would talk about? 어떤 토픽이 나올 것 같아요?
뭔가 그래도 약간 그런 불교에 대한 거나 뭐
그렇죠.
기도 이런 거겠죠.
그럴 것 같은데, The Matrix.
Oh.
He was a huge fan of The Matrix, and we were talking about, could humanity be a simulation?
Wow.
And I was like, I never thought I would be talking about The Matrix, the movie.
With the monk.
With one of the head monks. Really cool guy, so hospitable, and I was really 진짜 감동 엄청 많이 받았거든요.
Wow.
It was really cool.
그러니까요.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, I would like to go and talk to that head monk. Talk about metrics.
I'll get you a back pass ticket, VIP
right.
ticket, man. All right, great stuff. So what other attractions?
Oh, well, we are not supposed to miss this place. It's Gijang Market, where you can get the authentic taste of a local food and the life. And it's a visit. You have to visit Gijang Market to just get like snow crabs, right? And anchovy from like a lot of different type of fruits and veggies to like traditional Korean snacks.
You see,
Right.
you said seaweed as well, right?
Yeah, seaweed, too.
Now, I love the seaweed in Gijang
Right.
because it's very like, 바닷가 맛이 진짜 강하게 나잖아요.
맞아요.
But my wife really doesn't like it.
Really?
Because she says it's too fishy, too much like the sea. It's
Wow.
too, like, it literally tastes like it was like
Raw.
바다에서 막
It's too raw.
건져가지고.
Okay.
But I love that.
기장 미역이 원래 특산물이잖아요, 기장이.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's got a very strong, distinct flavor. I personally love it, but I guess some people don't.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their own taste, so I respect that.
So what's your personal experience in Gijang?
Yeah, when I actually have a chance to visit Gijang-읍, I usually go to Yeonwari or Daebyonhang. I sometimes like to go there for just fishing. I mean, I'm not a fishing person particularly, but then I just sometimes like to go whenever I have too much thoughts on my mind. Yeah.
It's just 물망하고.
근데 문제는요, 생선을 잡아본 적이 없어요.
Oh, it's an excuse to go there, right?
Right.
I guess all of the fishermen, they're like looking at you, hey, you can't fish there.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're not supposed to do that. They probably wants to like
Yeah.
teach me, but I'm like,
They're like, there's no fish
Yeah.
there. That's awesome. I think that'd be a really good way to kind of like do like 마음의 healing.
Right.
You know, awesome stuff. All right, now we are going to take a quick song break, but then we'll be very back. We'll be back very, very soon with more about this wonderful place in Busan. We're going to listen to Both Ways by The Script. We just listened to Both Ways by The Script. Welcome back, everyone. It's 2:43 in the afternoon. You're listening to 2 p.m. Reboot, and we are in the studio with Jimmy right now, talking about Gijang in our segment All Around Busan.
Right.
You know, it's somewhere that I go fairly often, so I don't call myself an expert, but I'm definitely not. But especially these days, because Busan is getting more popular, you know, summer's here, COVID worries have kind of disappeared. Lots of people are traveling.
Right.
So I find myself now, as more people go to Haeundae, Gwangallis, Hongjeong, I find myself heading over to Gijang where it's a bit quieter.
Right.
And it feels more like old school Busan.
Right. I totally feel you. I mean, especially on weekdays, when you go there, it's really, really empty and quiet.
For sure.
So,
You know, Songjeong used to be my like ajit. I used to go there to escape, you know, the busyness of like Haeundae, Gwangallis, Hamyeon. And now Songjeong is getting more and more popular.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a great place. So I'm kind of 계속 동쪽으로 계속
그렇죠. 점점 올라가고 있죠. Yeah.
and for good reason. So yeah, I really enjoy hearing about this. We have already talked about it a lot because, you know, Gijang is famous for it. But I want to talk about the food.
Oh, yeah. I think the only time that I eat and taste crabs is when I go to Gijang because they've got like this great restaurants for snow crabs, and also, as I have mentioned earlier, Gijang Market.
Snow crabs and 눈게인가요? 눈게?
대게였어요. 대게 말한 거예요. 대게.
I guess that's snow crab. Yeah. I just imagined 대게 because I just imagined big crab. I just thought big crab was the English word. Oh, it's a snow crab in English. See, when people say snow crab in English, I guess I do the wrong translation and I think of like a white crab. I think like with like powdery snow on it, or like, you know, only appearing in like, you know, Alaska.
Right.
Okay, so snow crab is 대게. I like 대게.
Yeah, me too.
I like 대게, but they're sometimes a bit skinny.
Do you like just as what it is, like steamed one, or do you kind of like marinate it?
I personally like it marinated.
Really?
I know everyone's different. This is just my taste.
Yeah.
I like it either marinated, and I quite like the American style.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like in butter.
Right.
되게 솔티하고 되게 뭐 잡조름하고 되게 맛있고.
Yeah.
But the Korean one I do like as well. You dip it in like choljang, and you eat it that way is also good.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of it without any sauce, without anything. Just
you don't like to eat it like as what it is, like bland.
싱거운 것 같아요. 조금. But
mild.
It's just my taste.
Yeah.
I like to just, you know, I don't know what's the adjective, what's the verb? I like to just throw all of the sauce, 양념 on it.
Yeah.
What about you?
That's kind of like typical American style. We kind of like put it in the plastic bag and then we put like corn and like onions and everything all combined with the sauce.
Yeah.
And we like mix it up.
Well, you transcend both cultures. You lived in America a long time and you're Korean. So what's your personal favorite style?
Well, I kind of like both. It's depending on who you go with.
Okay.
When I go with my family, I kind of want to just eat the steamed crab itself.
Oh, so kind of
follow the tradition.
Yeah.
But when I'm hanging out with my friends, I just want to like, you know,
For real.
eat some marinated ones.
Yeah.
With just my bare hands.
Yeah, for real. So crab, snow crab, 대게 is definitely one of the big things to eat in Gijang. Is there anything else?
Oh, and also I highly recommend you guys to go and taste some grilled fish. 거기 또 이제 생선구이가 굉장히 유명하거든요. Do you personally like?
I love 생선구이.
Oh, all right.
Anything fish-wise, raw or 구이, it's all good.
Oh, you're a huge fan of it? Okay, we should go and grab it one day.
Totally, man. You're buying.
Yeah.
You're buying.
Yeah, okay, I will.
The thing is, like we said, Gijang is very famous for its anchovies. Even if you go to Taepyeonang, there's the big statue of the giant fish.
Yeah.
I guess it's 멸치 because it's known for catching it.
Right.
And if you just go to that area, you'll see all of these restaurants selling like 멸치 쌈밥, right?
Sure.
And it is really good. And because I love raw fish mixed with all of this like 양념 and like 초고추장 and all of these vegetables, It's very 좀 자극적인 음식이죠.
Oh, it is.
And I love it.
And it's really, really tasty. And what I love about Gijang is they actually held annual anchovy festivals around like September or October. So it's
Yeah.
actually coming. And they actually held a lot of hands-on activities. And then you can actually just try some of those anchovies for free. And there's like so many people, boiso, 사이소, like sellers. So you can actually feel that vibes.
Yeah.
So it's a good way for you to just go and check out those activities too.
For sure. Check it out. And in between all of these restaurants, they have, just lots of like normal shops, not supermarkets, but
Right.
shops where they sell like the 멸치 in the tongs, right?
맞아요.
So you can buy the ingredients to make it at home.
Yeah.
And those are actually reasonably priced. The restaurants, they're delicious, and I really recommend you trying them. They do get kind of pricey, I guess, because it's almost like a delicacy. It's like a gourmet there. It is a bit pricey, but it's worth it. But if you find the price a bit 부담스러워, then you can just buy the ingredients, buy the fish that's marinated. You can take it home and eat it at home that way.
Oh, yeah, sure. Why not? With just a bowl of rice or with any other, vegetables or any other,
Yeah.
side dishes. It go along well with it.
And then when you eat these great foods there, when you've eaten the great fish, you've seen a bit of the harbour, they have some really good cafes. Have you been to the cafes there?
Oh, yeah.
They're
I love it.
They're beautiful.
There are like tons of cafes all like followed by that coastal line. So anywhere you go, it's pretty good because they've got the view.
They've got the view.
Right?
And there's not too many people. And the best thing, there's so much free parking.
Oh, yeah.
무료 주차장이 많아가지고.
맞습니다.
완전 강추합니다.
And they also provide a lot of delicious pastries,
Yeah.
like breads too. So
Yeah.
even if you haven't actually get a chance to eat like anchovies or crabs, you can just go to one of those cafe and help yourself.
Brilliant. All right, Jimmy, can you sum up Gijang in one sentence?
Yeah, Gijang is known for its breathtaking seaside temple, as what we have mentioned, and fresh seafood and a deep connection to the maritime culture of Busan, Korea.
Great. If you haven't checked it out before, go check it out. And if you haven't been in a long time, go again. I think you see Busan's real heart there. The fishing origins,
Yeah.
and the kind of more simple way of living with the serene beauty of the nature. Totally recommended. Thank you very much, Jimmy. And I'll see you around.
All right, I'll see you.
All right, we've got a few messages coming in as we get closer to the end of the second half. We've got Lee Kelly-nim messaging in. He's always messaging things that I cannot say, but I'll read the second bit. It's a great place for photography, too. I imagine it's going to be beautiful. You've got the harbour with the sea, lots of seagulls. I remember once I took a picture in Taebyang, and I got some seagulls in motion. It looked phenomenal, but I'm sure your pictures are 10 times better. We've got some messages coming in as well. We've got Soinim saying 출첵합니다. 늦었어요. It's okay. I'm so happy that you joined now anyway. Mina Linim saying 두 분이 닮았어요. Oh, me and Jimmy.
Whoa.
It's my brother from another mother. Not literally, but
Yeah.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, same for me too. Yeah.
Jin Lee Nim saying, hi, Nick and Jimmy. Hello, Jin Lee. Welcome to the show. We have 공치는 토트넘 직관러. I don't know if I could have said that, but in Gijang, there are many golf clubs. Really? I didn't know there were many golf clubs in Gijang. I guess the indoor ones, they're kind of a little bit more hidden. That's really awesome. Anyone who likes golf, head over to Gijang. Thank you for the tip as well. More messages coming in related to their volunteering experience. I'm going to read those a little bit later in the second half. We're going to wrap up the first half here. Don't go anywhere. We've got a request song by Miok Steliyinim. It's a classic. It's Africa by Toto. I'll see you soon.
부산 영어방송.
혹시 지금 운전 중이신가요? 어린이 교통사고 피해자 수는 지난 3년 평균 약 9만 명. 특히 어린이 보호구역 안전 기준이 강화된 이후에도 어린이 보호구역 내 사고는 지속적으로 발생하고 있습니다. 스쿨존에서는 반드시 시속 30km 이하 서행, 스쿨존 내 불법 주정차 금지, 차량 출발 전 앞뒤 좌우 살피는 습관으로 어린이가 안전한 도시를 만듭니다. 참, 운전 중 휴대전화 사용은 모두에게 위험합니다. 우리 모두를 위한 교통안전, 나부터 실천하면 모두가 안전해집니다. 어린이가 안전하게 뛰어놀 수 있는 부산. 아이 키우기 좋은 도시는 우리 모두의 미래이자 희망입니다. 이 캠페인은 어린이가 안전한 부산을 만드는 은행, B&K 부산은행과 함께합니다.
부산영어 방송에서는 글로벌 허브 도시 부산의 차세대 글로벌 리더들을 위한 청소년 영어 말하기 대회를 개최합니다.
BFM has organized the English Speech Contest for the next leaders of the global hub city, Busan.
전통이 숨쉬는 문화교육 특구, 동래구의 청소년 홍보대사들이 이야기하는 세계 속의 도시로 발돋움할 동네는 어떤 모습일까요?
From the inspiring stories of the final 10 students of Dongdaegu, one of the representative cities in Busan, we can draw the future of Dongdae as well look forward to the bright future of the global hub city, Busan.
치열한 예선을 거쳐 선발된 최종 10명의 본선 대결, 그리고 참가 학생 모두가 함께 도전하는 팀 대항 퀴즈를 통해 지역 청소년들이 꿈꾸는 동네와 부산의 미래를 그려봅니다.
We invite you to the Dongdaegu English Speech Contest with BFM, the finals.
8월 24일 오후 2시 부산교육대학교에서 열리는 부산영어방송과 함께하는 동래구 영어 말하기 대회에 여러분의 많은 관심 부탁드립니다.
This event is hosted by Dongdae District Office and organized by BFM, 부산영어방송.
The time is now 3 o'clock.
Nothing like a bit of Benny King for a wonderful Wednesday afternoon, right? Getting you in the moods for, just loving whoever you're with. That is a classic, Stand By Me by Benny King. Now, Benny King recorded this shortly after leaving the Drifters in 1960. It gave him a solid reputation as a solo artist and became, I would say, one of the biggest songs of all time. Now, Stand By Me was the name of a gospel hymn written by the Philadelphia minister Charles Albert Tindley in 1905, and his hymn became popular in churches throughout the American South and was recorded by various gospel acts of the 1950s. Now, when this was first released in 1960, it charted at US number 4 and UK number 27. When it was re-released to coincide with the movie in 1986, it hit US number 9 and UK number 1. Now a hit with 2 generations, the song started showing up at weddings and other special occasions too. It became a timeless classic. Well, everyone, we're going to play the greatest music here, including songs like this. You're listening to us on BFM 90.5 in Busan and 103.3 FM in the Gijang, Cheongwan and Noksan areas. I'm your host, Nick, taking over for Casey while he's away on personal business. You can also catch us in Seoul, TBS EFM 101.3 FM or GGN Gwangju 98.7 FM. We've got lots coming your way in the second hour, lots to stay involved, lots to listen to, and lots to talk and communicate about as well. I don't think that sentence made much grammatical sense, but you get what I'm saying. Daily list is the first thing we're going to start with. There is a list for anything, everything, and we'll find them all. Daily list covers all the lists from the best of to the worst of, and today's topic is ways to volunteer in your community. Following that is Inside Korea, where I let you know important updates on the country in which we live, and some of the stories include a 75-year-old pharmacist looking after 5,000 island residents, and the heatwave likely to persist until August the 22nd. Right now, I'm going to ask you one more time today's question of the day. We've got some good answers coming in. The question is, what is your most memorable volunteer work? 가장 기억에 남는 자원봉사는 무엇인가요? 오늘의 텍스트 토픽 퀘스천입니다. Send your answers to #9050, 샵 9050, which will cost you 101. A Kakao Talk message just by searching BEFM or 부산영어방송 in Korean. Add us and send messages for free that way. Or you can also download the smartphone app and search for the same thing too. Now let's have a look here. We've got some coming in. We have Ben Nim on YouTube Live. Hello, my friend, saying, I worked several times for 2 to 3 months and didn't get the expected remuneration. They later called it volunteering. That was truly memorable. I'm so sorry. I guess if you have bad management and they expect you to do more work than the pay you're getting, they might say, oh, you're just volunteering for the company. But let me tell you, let me just scroll up on my script because I had the definition here at the beginning. Now listen to this. Volunteering should always be a free choice made by the person giving up their time, is what is written here. It's one of the definitions for volunteering. And I assume it wasn't your free will, right? I'm sure it was your higher management making that decision for you. So be careful about that company in the future. But nonetheless, thank you for your message, my friend. 공치는 토트넘 직관러님 saying, my memorable volunteer work was military service work. Actually, I was exempted to do it, but I decided to do the military service voluntarily. That's awesome. I know some cases where you don't have to do the service for a variety of reasons, but you volunteered to do it. Very, very noble of you. It also said, I submitted my application and have accomplished well for 24 months. Maybe most men will respect my volunteer work. Yeah, I guess, in Korea, because there's mandatory military conscription, it is like a, involuntary volunteer work where you go and you serve your country for a year and a half or so. Very, very noble and a lot of respect for all people who go through that. Thank you for your message. Now, if you do want to message your experiences in, just send them to #9050 or a Kakao Talk message, BEFM 부산영어방송. Lee Kelly-nim saying, volunteering at a local orphanage in my town, 16 plus years, and 2 medical volunteer trips to Mongolia and Laos. as the sole photographer. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm aware of your work in the orphanage as well, which is phenomenal. Giving up your time just to help kids who maybe don't have the attention that people who live in regular families would get. A truly noble work, my friend. And that's really cool that you went to Mongolia and Laos as well. Giving up your talents as a photographer, I'm sure it made a huge impact. Everyone keep sending all of your volunteer works in. I want to hear them. It's inspiring and it's great to know that people help the community and beyond in this way. Coming up next, we do have Daily List. We're going to be diving into the best of and the worst of for Daily List. Before that, we're going to take a song break. This is Save the World by Swedish House Mafia. We just listened to Save the World by Swedish House Mafia, and it is now time for Daily List. There is a list for everything, and we're going to find all of them and bring them to you in this segment. Today's topic and today's list is ways to volunteer in your community. We're kind of talking about volunteering, your experience today, so it's a great reason to kind of, look into expanding ways you volunteer. And if you want to volunteer, but you're kind of like, 뭐하지? you don't know what to do, hopefully this will give you some inspiration. Because when you do volunteer, you also learn new skills, you gain experience, you can build your resume as well, and you can meet more people. And volunteering is a great place to do all of these things. But I think the number one thing with volunteering, more so than just building like spec, it's doing it from your heart, right? Doing it with no expectation of reward. Often rewards will come, after that as a byproduct. But still, here are some things that you can do. First one is tutor students. If you've ever been stuck on an algebraic equation or need to help with the phrasing of an important paper, you might have wished you had a tutor to guide you. Now, tutors help give one-on-one attention to students who need to hear the material, maybe in a different way compared to their classroom. Usually a tutor will provide personalized, hands-on lessons to teach the material, and this is a way to spark your own creativity too. Plus, you'll get to encourage students to build a long life love of learning. Now, tutoring is done professionally, but it's also done voluntarily as well. Maybe your neighbor, you see, your next door neighbor, they have a child and they're struggling with English or maths or science, and you've got one of these skills and, you want to volunteer your time. It'll be a great reason to go over and talk to them and maybe ask if they want some help. It's a local kind of community, so you're unlikely to get anything to put on your resume or anything, but it could really change that person's life. Another way that you can volunteer, maybe a slightly easier, and for those of you who love reading, is to donate books. Donating books is a great way to give back to families, children, and adults alike in your area. Old books from your childhood that you're still holding on to, they can really help other children learn to read. And donations may help maintain the budgets of schools and non-profit organizations that would otherwise have to purchase new books. Plus, you can free up some space on your shelf to find another book you're interested in. I know there are lots of avid readers out there, and some people, they love having the collection, right? You've got a huge shelf full of books that you've read, and then you keep them there as kind of like a trophy. I read all these books, these are my trophy collection, and it kind of gives a nice atmosphere to the house. But if you are able to part with some, it can be a great way to volunteer and donate to people who need them as well. Another tip, actually Jimmy talked about this, and we had some people messaging in, I think it was Chaesungnim messaging this, visiting the elderly. Now, the residents of nursing homes, along with the patrons of senior centres, they may not see visitors often enough, and they'd love to have some company. Even if you don't have a family member who lives in nursing homes or even goes to a senior centre, you could volunteer at a senior citizens event. Maybe you could read books to them, cook for them, make birthday cards, or just give up your time to make them feel special. It's heartbreaking, there are lots of people in, elderly homes. Maybe their families are a bit too busy to go and see them. And, they would just love having the conversation partner of someone to come and talk to them, even if you're not related. A really selfless way to give up your time as well. And the facility would be very grateful. You could help free up some staff members' time so they can focus on more urgent care and things like that as well. And plus, you would probably hear some really interesting stories. The elderly, they've lived a full life. I'm sure they've got loads of great stories to tell as well. That would be a great reason to go, I think, as well. Another way that you can help is helping in a local food bank. Now, a food bank is a warehouse that stores all of the food to be distributed to communities in need, and a food pantry delivers the food directly to families and the individuals that need it. Examples of volunteer work at food banks or local food pantries are donating food, purchasing foods with a budget, and then delivering the food to those in need from the grocery store. Now, as a volunteer, you will help provide those in need with the food necessary to keep them healthy and not worried about the future as well. These are just some of the ways that you can potentially help. Maybe it's giving you some inspiration so far. Maybe you're thinking, oh, they sound nice. Is there anything else? I'm going to let you know a couple more in a moment. We're going to take a song break first. This is Sway by Michael Bublé. Away by Michael Bublé. That was a great song we just listened to. Welcome back to the show. It's 3:20 in the afternoon on a lovely Wednesday hump day. My name's Nick. I'm just taking over for Casey. If you're joining us just now, this is 2 p.m. Reboot, and we are in the middle of our segment Inside Korea. Right now, we're going over ways that you can volunteer. I mean, donating is a part of volunteering sometimes, but we're going over ways that you can volunteer in your community. Another way that you can volunteer is donating unwanted items. Some people, of course, are not fortunate enough to be able to purchase every item at full price. Now, these people, they often head to shelters or thrift stores to pick up items necessary for everyday life. So donating items that are unwanted or no longer used is a great way to help out your neighbors. Usually gently used coats, blankets and shoes, in the back of your closet can make a big difference to others, while cleaning up some of the clutter at your home as well. Now, oftentimes in your apartment complexes, you'll see the 헌옷장s, right? Where you put, old clothes and things that you don't wear anymore. These are great, and these go to the right places. But it says it on them as well. There are certain items that you must not put in there, of course. For hygiene reasons, things like underwear or things that have been used too much are not going to be very helpful. But if you have something that wasn't really used, like a nice jacket that you just don't wear, you can donate something like that, and it would be really appreciated. Next up is volunteering in an animal shelter. Have you ever wondered, what can I do to volunteer in my community? Maybe that doesn't involve people. Maybe you're more of an animal person. You see dogs and cats and you just want to help the ones that maybe aren't treated as well or they don't have homes. Then you could consider an animal shelter, as they're always looking to find volunteers to keep animals entertained, fed, groomed and healthy as well. You may think that playing with animals can not be considered work, but helping cats and dogs and other animals become more sociable and friendly to humans will increase their chances for adoption as well. My grandparents, back a long time ago, they used to volunteer in the animal shelters, and I would go and visit them sometimes. They worked in a cattery, and cattery is where cats, obviously, who don't have homes often go, and they try to get them to be adopted, because if they're not adopted, unfortunately, a lot of them do have to be euthanized. So if you do want to adopt a cat or a dog, please consider adopting as opposed to going to a store, because there are so many that do need homes as well. Another way that you can help out is maintaining the environment. Imagine a local park with a playground or some botanical gardens. The chances are you didn't picture trash blowing through the park. Not only does this look unkempt, but it's also bad for the environment. So play your part in environmental conservation by picking up stray litter. Now, in rural areas, you can adopt a section of the highway to clean up the roadside ditches. Another way to enhance the Earth's beauty is by planting trees or flowers as well in your community. Now, preserving the environment, it may not require that much effort, but it leaves a noticeable impact and sets a positive example for others to follow as well. And we have one more tip for you as well, and this is go to the YMCA and help there, volunteer there. The YMCA, usually for the youth, usually for kids maybe, to give them activities and things to do. It's fun to stay at the YMCA, according to the song. So it goes without saying that it can serve as a fun volunteer idea in your area. Volunteering at your local YMCA is a great way to be interactive with the young generation and kind of act as a role model for them as well. I know many of you might not think, I'm not mature enough to be a role model for these kids, but really you are. If you're a good, decent person, honestly, it would be a great way to volunteer your time. Plus, you can also work in your own area of interest. If you enjoy working out, you can teach a class in the weight room, how to work out properly. If you enjoy playing sports, you can coach an athletic team. There are lots of opportunities to help young kids stay fit as well. Plus, it's also an activity that you can ask your friends and family to join. And as you can see, there is an opportunity for each of your interests as well. So while helping others, you could also make new friends, learn new skills, and add these invaluable experiences to your life as well. Hopefully this gave you some inspiration. If you do have any interesting volunteer experiences that you would like to add to this list, please send them to us. and we'd love to read them out, see what you're doing to volunteer in your community. And on that note, we're going to take a song. Our producer, he's got a keen eye for this. We're going to listen to YMCA by the Village People. just listened to YMCA by The Village People, welcoming you back to 2 p.m. Reboot. I'm your host, Nick. It's a lovely Wednesday, hump day afternoon. I've got a little section I can see through the window. The curtains are closed here, I think, for 방음을 위해서, just to kind of prevent the sound from escaping and echoing. But there's a little gap in the curtains, and I can see the light kind of shining off some buildings and a mountain over there. It looks like a lovely day still. I think it is very hot, so please be careful, stay hydrated, stay in shade when you can. But I hope that all of your spirits are very high. It is now time for Inside Korea, where I let you know some important updates on the country in which we live. Our first story is 75-year-old pharmacist looks after 5,000 island residents. Now, Chae Young-duk retired from his pharmacy business in 2015, passing it on to his children. However, 8 years later, upon learning that Korea's westernmost island with around 5,000 residents lacked a pharmacy, he felt compelled to return to his profession. Driven by a clear goal, he donned his old white lab coat and set out for Pyeongdo, so the Pyeong Island. Now at 75, Chae finds fulfillment in more than just personal satisfaction. He plans to continue serving as a local pharmacist on the island for as long as his health allows, viewing it as his true vocation. Now he says, "I didn't start this business for financial gain. My goal was simply to help the people of Pyeong Island. Seeing them take the medicine I provide and recover, it brings me immense satisfaction." And he said this, and he now operates the island's only drugstore. The island's last pharmacy closed in April of 2022, and it originally opened in 2004. It had several changes in ownership over the years, before unfortunately closing permanently without a buyer. Now, without a functioning pharmacy, islanders with minor ailments had to travel to the hospital or a national public health center for simple medication. The process was cumbersome and time-consuming compared to the convenience of a local pharmacist who would just provide both medication and personal advice, especially to the elderly residents. Now, Chae opened a pharmacy on the island a year later in April 2023, and it's since thrived with 20 to 30 visitors daily from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., excluding Sunday afternoons. Now, given the island's aging population, most visitors come with neuralgia and gastrointestinal issues. Now, he wasn't immune to age-related risks. Acute pneumonia struck him in March after enduring a cold island winter without adequate heating in the pharmacy. He closed the store for a month for surgery and reopened in May, subsequently hiring an employee. He says, "I'll stay with the people of this island as long as my health allows me to run the pharmacy," he said. Now, Incheon's Ongjin-gun, which oversees 100 islands, including Pyeongdo, 75 which are uninhabited, it enacted a new bylaw in late 2022 to enhance support for pharmaceutical professionals on its islands. Under this bylaw, the government covers 80% of the monthly rent for both local pharmacies and pharmacist residences. Additionally, starting in November, logistics fees for transporting drug supplies from the mainland to the country's island pharmacies will also be fully covered. Our next piece of news is Heatwave likely to persist until August 22nd. Not great news for a lot of people, unless you're a big hot weather fan, but nonetheless, it will have its health concerns. The weather agency said that it expects the current heat wave to continue at least until August the 22nd, with temperatures until then to record higher than usual. Now, in the past, Korea saw the summer heat easing into fall weather after August 15th. However, due to the continued convergence of the Tibetan and North Pacific high-pressure systems over the Korean peninsula, the Korean Meteorological Administration anticipates the current heat wave to last longer. Until August the 22nd, morning temperatures are expected to reach up to 27 degrees Celsius, while daytime temperatures are expected to range between 30 and 34 degrees Celsius. However, as the center of these overlapping high-pressure systems begins to shift this week, the KMA added that the westerly winds that have brought hot and humid temperatures into Korea will shift to still hot but drier easterly winds from this week. Due to this shift, the National Weather Agency added that temperatures are expected to rise further in the Greater Seoul area and western parts of Gangwon Province this week. Now, while the heat will continue to be accompanied by more tropical nights, the KMA added that it will be slightly less humid than before due to drier winds. Now, eastern parts of Korea, including cities such as Gangneung, Sokcho, and Samcheok, they can expect to see a little relief from the heat this week, with temperatures dropping 1 to 3 degrees Celsius. However, the KMA added that the heatwave warnings and tropical nights may still remain in these areas due to high sea surface temperatures. Meanwhile, high temperatures will also persist on Tuesday, with apparent temperatures rising to 35 degrees Celsius. Some parts of the country, including the Greater Seoul area, inland regions of Gangwon Province, South Jeolla Province, and the Chungcheong provinces, will see sporadic showers from the afternoon until nighttime. According to the KMA, this year's stretch of tropical nights in Seoul is the third longest on record since weather records first began to be kept in the city in 1907. A tropical night, known in Korean as 열대야, refers to the phenomenon in which the lowest temperature remains above 25 degrees Celsius between 6:01 p.m. the night before and 9 a.m. the next day. So it's not going to be the cool autumn just yet that we were anticipating. The hot weather will be continuing for another 9 days or so at least. So be aware of that. Don't put away your fans just yet. And remember to always find shade, stay hydrated, and keep cool whenever you can. We're going to take a song break and then we'll be right back with Perfect Playlist. This is Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Forever to
We just listened to Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls, and it is now time for Perfect Playlist. From Monday to Friday, we find you the perfect songs for every situation, and we have a theme each week. And this week's theme is songs about independence. It's an important week this week. Tomorrow is a very important day in Korean history and in tradition. So we thought the songs about independence theme would be a great one. And as luck would have it, there are many great songs related to independence. Our first song for Perfect Playlist is going to be Independent Woman Part 1 by Destiny's Child. Now, Destiny's Child, classic, takes me back to my childhood again. Destiny's Childhood sings about a woman who recognizes her power and will not depend on a man for what she needs. Women can work, earn money, and succeed all on their own, and that they don't need permission or approval from men. This song is empowering in that it encourages women to recognize their worth, and they can gain independence and become as powerful as men. The second song is Independent by Salt and Pepper. Now, the lyrics describe someone who's proud to say, "Woman and I am independent." She is earning her own money and paying her way. She doesn't need help from anyone and will not cater to a man, and she can do her own thing and won't be used for entertainment. The woman is independent enough to recognize the red flags and leave her partner. So if you're looking for some inspirational independence-related songs, don't go anywhere. We're going to listen to these two songs back to back. This is Independent Woman Part 1 by Destiny's Child and Independent by Salt and Pepper. Those were the two songs we just listened to for Perfect Playlist. Independent Woman Part 1 by Destiny's Child, followed by Independent by Salt and Pepper. The time is now 3:52 in the afternoon. We've got to start closing things down. Before we finish, though, I just want to read some messages that we got related to the topic of the day. And we were talking about volunteer work today. What kind of volunteer work do you do? What have you done? Ben Nim coming back and saying, I volunteer as a reviewer of scientific conference contributions and academic journal submissions. I'm also an uncompensated mentor for early stage professionals. That's awesome. So I assume you work in the science field and you're volunteering your skills and your talents as well for other people. Fantastic way to do that. Thank you for sharing, my friend. And then Gilnim saying, consistency is also very important when it comes to volunteering, especially if you're volunteering with people in relationships. Consistency is the key. Also some great advice right there. Now, it is Wednesday. I want to remind you on Friday, it will be my last live show, But if you come and join along on Friday, we're going to be giving lots of coffee coupons away. Our producer told us that we're going to have coffee coupons to share among all of you lovely folks listening out there. So come along, chat with me, have some good times on Friday and, maybe take away a nice little coffee drink as well. And on that note, I'm going to finish this Wednesday show. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I'm going to leave you with True by Spandau Ballet. I'll see you tomorrow.